Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So we'll read one verse from Bhagavad Gita and then we will have some discussion. Vistarenatmano yogam Vibhutim cha janardana Bhuya kathaya triptirhi Shanvato nasti me mritam Vistarenatmano yogam Vibhutim cha janardana Bhuya kathaya triptirhi Shanvato nasti me mritam. Is it visible now? Vistarenatmano yogam Vibhutim cha janardana Bhuya kathaya triptirhi Shanvato nasti me mritam. Vistarenatmano yogam Vibhutim cha janardana Bhuya kathaya triptirhi Shanvato nasti me mritam. Vistarane, in description, Atmanaha, of yourself, Yoga, mystic power, Vibhutim, opulences, Cha, also, Janardana, the killer of the atheists, Bhuyaha, again, Kathaya, describe, Triptihi, satisfaction, He, certainly, Shanvataha, hearing, Na asti, there is no, Me, mine, Amritam, nectar. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Tell me again in detail, O Janardana, Krishna, of your mighty potencies and glories, for I never tire of hearing your ambrosial words. Translation with repetition. Tell me again in detail, O Janardana, Krishna, of your mighty potencies and glories, for I never tire of hearing your ambrosial words. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. A similar statement was made to Sutta Goswami by the rishis of Naimisharanya, headed by Sonata. That statement is Vayam Tuna Vitrupyama Uttama Shloka Vikrama Yashravata Rasagyana Swadu Swadu Pade Pade. One can never be satiated even though one continuously continuously hears the transcendental pastimes of Krishna, who is glorified by Vedic hymns. Those who have entered into a transcendental relationship with Krishna relish in every step descriptions of the pastimes of the Lord. Thus Arjuna is interested to hear about Krishna, specifically how he remains as the all-pervading Supreme Lord. Now, as far as Amritam, nectar is concerned, any narration or statement concerning Krishna is just like nectar. And this nectar can be perceived by practical experience. Modern stories, fiction, and histories are different from the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, in that one will tire of hearing mundane stories, but one never tires of hearing about Krishna. It is for this reason only that the history of the whole universe is replete with references to the pastimes of the incarnations of Godhead. For instance, the Puranas are histories of bygone ages that relate the pastimes of the various incarnations of the Lord. In this way, the reading matter remains forever fresh, despite repeated readings. Thus ends the wonderful nectarian purport of Srila Prabhupada. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnana-anjana-shalakaya Chakshur-militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnu-padaya Krishna-prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti-vedanta Swami-niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya-deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I would like to welcome each one of you for this beginning of this wonderful festival called Jhulan. It's a very special festival. And very special festival in Vrindavan also has a lot of special significance of how Radharani comes to Vrindavan, the groves, and the transcendental couple, they play the swing, which is meant for their eternal pastime, for their enjoyment, for their bliss. What it has got to do with people like us, who are in some far-off place in Boston, deeply soaked in material aspirations and activities and consciousness. How does it help us? Well, Prabhupada says any festival is meant to bring that enthusiasm inside us. Some people like us who are conditioned, who are there in this material world, who have never experienced spiritual rasa, and who are very used to, and who are continuously relishing the material rasa, even though there is no apparent rasa. We need festivals like this, where we can get an opportunity to come together, perform Sankirtan, and hear the glories of the Lord. So I chose deliberately one verse from Bhagavad Gita. Of course, we speak about different verses from Bhagavatam, which talks about the glories of hearing, but here, Arjuna, after having heard the 4 Chaturshloki verses of Bhagavad Gita, is saying, Vistare ana atmano yogam vibhutim cha dhanartha. Please talk to me elaborately. Vistarena, in description, atmana, about yourself. Vistarena atmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana. Your glories, your pastimes of Janardana. Bhuya kathaya triptarhi shrinvato nasti me amritam. Bhuya kathaya triptarhi. How can somebody be satiated? Triptir is satisfaction. How can somebody be satisfied? He shrinvato nasti me amritam. Because this is nectar. Tell me again in detail, O Janardana, of your mighty potencies and glories, for I never tire of hearing your ambrosial words. So there is material rasa, which all of us have experienced, and there is spiritual rasa, which we have a glimpse of it. Material rasa has got 3 characteristics. It is finite, it decreases, and it is temporary. So it is finite, but it is addictive also, both of you. But people go for it, and knowing that the rasa is decreasing, they don't lose hope in relishing the material subjects or material things. For example, Prabhupada is talking about a fiction or storybook or something that one reads, or maybe a movie probably that you can take for example, somebody sees. One time one sees, it looks very happy, it looks very nice, you appreciate it. Maybe some other time your relatives come and you go along with them, then the happiness reduces. And probably the third time or fourth time or fifth time if somebody asks and come, why don't you join us for the movie? Then somebody will say, please, just excuse me from this torture. And so the material happiness reduces. But the spiritual happiness on the other hand increases provided we have developed a rasa. What is the proof of that? Proof of that is, even though festivals like this come again and again, the eagerness to participate and hear increases. What is the most important thing? The most important thing in this life, in this human form of life, is if we can establish our relationship with the supreme source of happiness, the Lord. And that happens when the Lord enters into our heart. And the Lord enters into our heart not through our eyes, but through our ears. The Lord enters into our heart through our ears. In Bhagavad Gita, there are very interesting words which are used. Like here you can see for Krishna, the word used is Janardana. Janardana is, killer of the atheists, Prabhupada is giving the translation. It's actually who is maintaining people. And elsewhere it is mentioned as Janardana is who's the maintainer, who's the sustainer of a person. Now imagine a person who's charitable. What he can give to another person who's asking for some charity? He can give what he has. Maybe he has got some opulence, he has got some brains, he's got some jobs, he's got some of those things. He can give in return those things. So the sages, the people who are devotees, out of their compassion, what they give is Krishna Katha. And this Krishna Katha, if somebody properly, attentively hears from the right source, these are available. And Arjuna is showing by his example. In the lecture that Prabhupada has given in this 10th chapter, Prabhupada mentions, is there a possibility ever that the ocean says that, oh river, stop flowing to me. Don't come to me. Now I am done. Like that, the devotees' ears are like those oceans, eager to hear. Unless that hearing thing is there, unless we want to know about Krishna, our enthusiasm dies down. It becomes another ritual. And we start looking for material rasa more and more. So that is why the injunction of the scriptures, the injunction of the Vedic literatures and especially our acharyas is to instruct us to develop a spiritual rasa. As we all know, Bhagavatam in the 3rd verse it says, Nigama kalpataro galitam phala sukam khadamrata dravasamyutam pibata bhagavatam rasamalaya muguraho rasika bhagavaka. Nigama kalpataro galitam phala. Nigama is Vedic literatures which is compared to a kalpataru, wish fulfilling tree. Nigama kalpataru galitam phalam. Galitam is the most ripened, mature fruit. Srimad Bhagavatam. Because in the tree, the most important, the most, in the tree, the thing that is most useful is the fruit that the tree can give. And if that fruit is ripened, so relishable. On top of that, if a parrot has touched its beak, then it becomes even more tasty. So, Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam sukhamukha namrata travasamrita. Since this Bhagavatam, which is considered to be the ripened, mature fruit of the desired tree of Vedic literatures, and it is coming out of the mouth of Sukadeva Goswami, who was a pure devotee. Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam sukhamukha namrata travasamrita. Pibata Bhagavatam. Just drink this nectar. Vivata Bhagavatam Rasamalaya Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavaka. Where is that thoughtful man who will say, no, no, I don't want to hear? So, opportunities like this, festivals, are chance for us to revive our relationship with the Lord, provided we hear appropriately. In the mention of Ramayana, where whatever small little portion which is mentioned in Bhagavatam, 9th canto, when Lord Ram is preparing to go for forest for his exile for 14 years, on the third day, Lord Ram meets Valmiki. And he asks Valmiki, where should I reside in the forest? Is there any place that you can say where I can reside? So Valmiki says, this is a very enigmatic question, because, oh Lord, you are there present in every atom, and you are asking me, where should I reside? In the 10th chapter again, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Name vidu suragana prabhavam na maharshaya aham adihi devana maharshinam cha sarvasa. Who can understand the Lord? Some of us, we think we have understood who Krishna is, what this festival is, what he does, and can we really understand? Big, thoughtful men, they struggle to find out who Krishna is, who the Supreme Personality of God is. Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Name vidu suragana prabhavam na maharshaya aham adihi devana maharshinam cha sarvasa. Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin. For in every respect, I am the source of the demigods and the sages. For example, if somebody wants to know the birth of his father, how will he know the birth? You can't know. Only thing you can ask your father, how will you take birth? You can hear. So, he is the Supreme Father. And who can understand him? And the sages, the demigods, all originating from him. Even if they make an effort, it is not possible. In Bhagavatam, when Narad Muni is asking this question to Brahma, are you the real creator who's creating this material world, or is there anybody else by whose energy you are able to create? Immediately, Narad Muni actually says there, Brahma says there, Srijamitan yuktoham haro harati tad vashaha vishwan purusha rupena paripati trishakti dhrik. Srijamitan yuktoham. By being engaged by him, Srijamitan yuktoham haro harati tad vashaha. I create by Srijami, I create being engaged by him. Haro harati tad vashaha. Haro is Lord Shiva. He destroys. Haro harati tad vashaha. By his submission, under his supervision. Vishwan Purusha Rupena Paripati. And he himself as Narayana is maintaining Trisakti Dhrik. So he is the source of everything. So that Lord, if he asks somebody like Valmiki, where should I reside? But very interestingly, Valmiki answers to Lord Ram that, oh Lord Ram, you reside in the hearts of those devotees who have got ocean-like ears who are eager to hear your pastimes. So on this day of Jhulan, when we are beginning to meditate, this is the month of festivals. Right? Jhulan starts. Then there will be Balaram Purnima, and then there is Krishna Janmashtami, followed by Radhashtami. Series of festivals. What it requires is to prepare our heart to participate in these festivals, letting go of all our inhibitions, letting go of all our egos, letting go of all our reservations, and being receptive to hear and appreciate the Lord. Seeing the Lord is one thing, but hearing about the Lord is much more important. Bhagavatam is filled with those things. Unless we know, unless we hear, how will we develop a love or intimacy to the Lord? That is why the most appropriate verse which is quoted in that verse that we read in the purport by Prabhupada, Vayam tuna vitrupyama uttama shloka vikram yashvanavatam rasajnanam swadu pade pade. These are the sages who would have heard, who would have read this umpteen number of times. It's not like it is something new. But they are saying, Vayam tuna vitrupyama. We are never frustrated. Vayam tuna vitrupyama uttama shloka vikrame. The activities of the Lord, the pastimes of the Lord are so relishable, so wonderful. If a person is really fortunate, he gets an opportunity to come in association of devotees. But a person is considered more fortunate if he gets a chance to hear Harikatha in association of devotees. And a person is considered to be the most fortunate if he comes in association of devotees and hears Harikatha every day. That is why Bhagavatam is saying, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. There are people who organize Bhagavad Saptah for 1 week or some 10 days, then they forget about it. That is not what Bhagavatam is all about. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishti. By regular attendance in classes on Bhagavatam and by rendering service to a pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service to the personality of God and who is praised with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. The rare human birth that we have got, the rare human form of life, the ultimate success of this is if we can develop Krishna. And that happens by the process of hearing. So, Vayam Tuna Vitrupyama Uttama Shloka Vikrame Yat Shrinivatam Rasagyanam Swadu Swadu Pade Pade Yat Shrinivatam Rasagyanam. So, this rasa of the spiritual rasa, or transcendental rasa, which we get a glimpse of it, we need to ensure that we preserve it, we enhance it, we somehow we accelerate, or we do something to increase that. If all the activities that we do, but there is no attraction for the Lord, there's no attraction. What is the point? Shrama eva hi kevala. What is that verse? Visvakshena katha suya notpadayat yadiratin Shrama eva hi kevala. What is the first line? Dharma svanushtita pumsa visvakshitam right. Dharma svanushtita pumsa visvaksena kathasuriya notpadayat yadiratim Shrama eva hi kevala. Dharma svanushtita, we are doing so many activities. We are busy, we are coming, we are doing so many things. But visvaksena kathasuriya notpadayat yadiratim, if it is not developing an attraction for knowing about Krishna or hearing about Krishna, Shrama eva hi kevala. So the sages are also telling here, Vayatuna Vitrupyama Uttama Shloka Vikrame. We are never tired, we are never satiated. But you see, the most difficult part for most people is, the festival is to hear it. Most difficult part. They'll be waiting when some ritualistic thing, something will happen. Of course, it is not ritual, it's a transcendental thing, but they just take pleasure in that. Some flowers they'll throw or something and then they'll go home. Most important thing is to hear. Vayam Turna Vitrupyama Uttama Shloka Vikrame Yat Shrinivatam Rasagyanam Swadu Swadu Pade Pade. Vayam Turna Vitrupyama. Vayam is a plural. Aham Avam Vayam. We are never tired, we are never satiated about hearing about the Lord's pastimes. All other things you can do everywhere. All opportunities are there to hear about material, mundane gossip, and talk about some politics, sports, so on and so forth. Plenty of opportunities are there. But to hear about Krishna in association with devotees is the rarest of the rare things. Vayam Tuna Vitrupyama Uttama Shloka Vikrame Yash Shrinivatam Rasagyanam. You relish. That relishment which comes in the heart by hearing Krishna Katha is not there in material topics. That is why one of the questions which Parikshit is asking is, what should we hear? And Srila Goswami says, Sahasrani, second canto, first chapter.
Nrinam Santi Sahasrasha.
Shota Vyadini Rajendra, Nrinam Santi Sahasrasha. Apasyatam Atmattatvam Griheshu Grihimekena. Shota Vyadini Rajendra. Shota Vyadini Rajendra means for outside people, or people who do not have, never experienced that spiritual taste, there are thousands of topics to talk. Shota Vyadini Rajendra, Nrinam Santi Sahasrasha. मेरा old age में क्या होगा? Who will take care of me? What about my insurance? What if my children don't take care of me? Some things, others, some random topics. The mind is so absorbed and gets so much of rasa in explaining and talking about it. Shrotavyani Rajendra Nridam Santi Sahasrasha Apasyatam Atmatattva, because they are not realizing that they are spirit soul. They have not understood who really they are. Apasyatam Atmatattvam Griheshu Grihamede. They are busy in some other things. But here, on the other hand, the sages are saying, Vayamtuna Vitratya, Uttama Shloka Vikrame, Yashinvatam Rasakya. You experience that rasa, and that rasa is so nice. You don't want to give up. You want more. Even though you become full, you become more thirsty. You want to hear more. What actually happened in Jhulan? Why do we celebrate Jhulan even after 5,000 years? It happens eternally. But do we have time? Do we have eagerness? Do we have that interest to know? If you are a thoughtful man, you feel satisfied by hearing, but you become again thirsty to hear more. Yashanvatam Rasabhyanam Swadu Swadu Padaya. Because in every step, in every this thing is relishable. Supreme Absolute Truth, or the Supreme Lord, to the reservoir of all rasas, when you hear about Him, it is not different. That is how you experience this rasa. We'll close with this one last pastime, which verse, which is very, very famous verse, but very interesting and very appropriate. With this we'll close. This is the verse which is spoken by the gopis. And yesterday or day before yesterday, when we were reading how Utsav, when he went with a letter from Krishna to console the gopis who were completely dissolved, they had no idea of what they are wearing, what they are doing. And when they saw Utsav, who was lookalike of Krishna, they suddenly thought probably Krishna has come. And they assemble over there. And there is a series of emotions that they are exhibiting. Sometimes they are scolding Krishna, they are saying that Krishna has forgotten us. Sometimes they are appreciating Krishna. But the important thing is they are not able to think, not able to do anything other than Krishna. And what did Utsav do to pacify them? What is that mechanism, or what is that thing that Utsav do? Utsav actually started glorifying and talking about Krishna's pastimes. And that kind of satisfied this gopis. So you can repeat after me. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham shravanamangalam srimadatam bhuvigrunatiye Two more times. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham shravanamangalam srimadatam bhuvigrunatiye Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham shravanamangalam srimadatam bhuvigrunatiye bhuridajana. What this verse is saying is the activities in the pastimes of the Lord are like nectar. Amritam, tava kathamritam, tapta jivanam. Where do you find solace in this scorching heat of material world? Where do you find it? You go watch some movie, you go do some shopping, you do some random material activities. Will that quench your thirst? No. It aggravates you more because you remain unsatisfied. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam. It actually pacifies that fire of material desires that we are chasing. It becomes satiated. It becomes extinguished, at least for the time being, hearing the nectarian pastimes of the Lord. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham. Kavibhir, the sages, the thoughtful man, they concluded that kalmashapaham, the impurities, the contaminations in the heart are completely cleansed by hearing this. Kavibhirivitam kalmashapam Shravanamangala. This brings the most auspicious thing in our life. Shravanamangala, Srimadhatata. It gives all opulence. Bhuvidhanandiye, Bhuvidajana. This is what the thoughtful men, Bhuvidajana, Bhurijana, the devotees, they give this nectarian Krishna Katha to people. And through that Krishna Katha, the Lord enters in the heart and stays. This is what is the biggest, is the highest charitable thing that one can do. They constantly give, they want to share this message of Krishna. That is what Prabhupada did. The right age of 70, taking all those devotees coming here and giving this Krishna Katha. So, I think we've run out of time, but this 5 days, it's just a reminder. In life, people like us, people like me, we take a lot of reminders. We keep forgetting things. We keep forgetting that we are eternally part and parcel of the Lord. And we get busy with our own material activities and pursuits. Time and again, these festivals, which are beautifully planned by the pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, reminds us that we are eternally His servant. And it gives us an opportunity to free ourselves, extricate ourselves from material obligations and experience that rasa which we miss, which we get sometime, but we forget. So this is an invitation to all of you that take this seriously. This opportunity, who knows it will come or not, because Parikshit was in that way very fortunate that he had 7 days notice. We don't know. Who can say that we have seven more days to live? Who can say that we will be there for tomorrow? That also we don't know. I actually just this morning, Mataji was saying somebody from her cousin side, somebody passed away. I heard somebody, one of my very distant relative, but not too old, less than 40 years old, he passed away. So who knows how much time we have. Parikshit in that way was very lucky. And we, in our limited time and opportunity, if we don't value it, if we don't take it seriously, who will come and who will awaken us? Who will make us, awake from our deep slumber of material ignorance? So that's the sum and substance of festival like this. I hope you all are able to come and participate in this wonderful festival, which is planned in our next devotees. We'll stop here and we will have wonderful Kirtan now, which is a very beautiful glorification of different devotees and their worshipable deity. And then followed by an opportunity for each one of you to get a chance to do the swing personally to Radha Damodar, not a small thing. Stop here and see. Srila Prabhupada ki, Sri Radha Damodar ki, and thank God.